It's been an uneven market. I think right now you're seeing, again, the market kind of clench up, given a escalation of the trade concerns. Each time we get the saber rattling or the volleys of tariff threats and stuff, the market reflexively goes negative and then tries to recover. And I think what's weighing on the market right now is just the ongoing nature of it. There's not a process. There's not really a patience to see any negotiations develop. It's really about, it seems as if from the president that the aggression is the point right now, and he thinks it's going to bring the other side closer to him.
Sarah, on July 6th, Sarah, Chinese tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods go into effect, and of course then retaliatory from China as well.
Which is going to include very key economic items like U.S. soybeans and U.S. autos and potentially pork products. I mean, this is no longer a threats back and forth or aggression, Mike. I mean, these are real world taxes that are coming back and forth on U.S. products and on foreign products. Just yesterday, Canada's tariffs from the United States products like ketchup and toilet paper and chocolate and caffeine went into effect. And then Friday comes the big one.
Nobody told me about chocolate.
Well, you're not Canadian, so you won't have to pay extra.
Okay, good.
But the problem is a lot of these food companies that I've covered have closed a lot of their factories in Canada. They produce it here and then send it north of the border because we're all part of NAFTA, but now all of a sudden that is going to be taxed. So things have gone from bad to worse as far as the tariffs, and I think what's notable is that the Chamber of Commerce is weighing in this morning. This is the biggest, most powerful business group in the United States, and they're not happy with the president's trade strategy. In fact, here's the statement, which spoke pretty loudly. The administration is threatening to undermine the economic progress that it worked so hard to achieve. We should seek free and fair trade, but this is just not the way to do it. We've had Mr. Donahue on many times.
Yes, we have, saying a similar thing. The president's comments in an interview this weekend, I think, specific to auto tariffs.
Yes.
And we saw that with a tweet a few weeks ago, of course, that idea of a 20% tariff on European German makers of automobiles. Not that there aren't some others, but that's the major market. Certainly rattles people, but he seems very much committed to that being his key weapon.
So a lot of people ask when this becomes a trade war. When does this go from a skirmish to a tit for tat to an actual all-out war? A lot of investors are saying that the cars, that's really it's a whole new level in terms of an escalation and an economic impact, both here at home and abroad. And I think you have to look no further than what the European Union is commenting on this very topic. They put out a response to the commentary, to the Commerce Department in terms of open comments, saying this risks as much as $300 billion worth of U.S. products in terms of retaliation if they go forward with these auto tariffs. I mean, now we're talking about a fifth of all U.S. exports.
Right. Yeah, there's a threshold somewhere where it becomes a little bit too much for investors and business leaders to shrug off, and that might be it. It might be the car trade, although I do think the context really matters a lot because all this is going on when international economies have kind of rolled over a little bit in terms of growth rates. The emerging markets are struggling. The dollar's going up. The Fed's still tightening. And all this stuff is kind of offsetting what we thought was great U.S. economic momentum. Now, that momentum is still there. It's just blunting its effect. And I think the big question is, are we kind of squandering this period when we could have had essentially all cylinders firing in terms of growth? And trade is going to be the thing that's going to gum it up.
Absolutely. And
I think one of the things.
I mean, just look at GM's statement. They came out on Friday, like many of the automakers, and said this is going to lead to a smaller GM, undermine our competitiveness, and risk U.S. jobs. Can the administration go forward when the major auto companies are warning that?
National security grounds to declare these tariffs is unclear.
Well, he's got the FART Act.
Yeah.
You know about this?
I did read a little bit about it.
Yes, the text of the...
I mean, Axios is reporting that President Trump has a bill that would make the U.S. not have to comply with the WTO, World Trade Organization, which governs free trade and includes 164 members that the U.S. helped create.
Yep.
And instead, he would have even more power to unilaterally impose tariffs and go ahead with this sort of stuff,
and there is
not get congressional
continued
approval.
murmurings of us leaving the WTO, at least.
Right, that's what this is.
Yeah, no, I know.
The White House saying this is not a formal White House legislative proposal, right? I mean, this is just kind of the text of a potential bill that was, drawn up at the president's request, and we'll see if it goes.
Wilbur Ross told
us. But we know that the
Squawk
factions within the administration are fighting this out.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.